Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Another in the Fire. If you guys haven't noticed or you guys didn't watch us last week, stop right here, pause it, and go watch last week's, okay?
Don't get out of order.
There's going to be a quiz.
I am kidding. You guys can see that we're back in our cozy because we are taking advantage of this fall season, okay? Yeah. Not the weather, because here in Texas, we're still at 100 degrees. But it's fall. We're in the fall season, so.
There was kind of a cool breeze today, though.
Yeah.
The sun is hot, but the breeze was a little cool.
And Claudia keeps her house cold, so I don't mind the sweaters.
So we're all in the fall. So today's episode, we have a good one. But before we get started with that, before we let you guys know what it's about, let's go into the week. How was y'all's week?
My week was good. My family and I, we started family Sunday dinners, although my older kids have not come at the same time.
Eventually, it'll all, we have to just adjust.
Y'all need to get it together because we need
because y'all are taking our fun from us.
So we decided, start doing that again so we can bring some unity back into the house, and everybody's got such busy lives. So at least on Sunday, let's get together, let's eat, catch up, play games or whatever, but they all haven't showed up at the same time. Weird.
Just let us know, we'll show up.
But I know, I'm like, if y'all not coming, I'm going to invite them.
Just call us, we'll show up quick.
Yeah. But it's going good. I love it. We used to do this when the kids were little. Mm-hmm. And I invited my friends instead of my family. Things haven't changed. But so now we're doing that again, and I love it. It feels good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
We just got to establish consistency.
Yeah.
And it's new, so it'll get better.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised they all agreed to it. Like the adults.
It was their
I would
idea.
say the adults because
they have their lives.
It was the big kids' idea. Like, let's get together and because we're living in times where things are just really, really hard.
Yeah.
And there's so much going on, miscommunication, confusion, distractions. So you gotta, hone in on that family thing again. And the older ones don't live with us, so we don't ever get to have dinner with them, So,
And you have two sets of kids, separately, so you have to make time so that they still grow together.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's our catch-up day.
I like that for y'all.
Yeah.
Not for us, because just kidding.
She's ready for all of them to get out of her house.
The kids don't get it together. We're going to have issues, and we're going to have to do once a month.
We're going to take over Sunday.
Before the Sunday dinners, it was just after service, we'll be like, oh, where are we going? And then it was always us on Sundays now.
And it feels so awkward.
It does.
It feels off. So we will quickly take advantage.
Yes.
Well, how was my week? It was good. I love fall, so I'm all for the fall coming out in the house. It's been out. It just hasn't been out of the storage bins. So it's out of the
storage unit.
The storage unit, but it's not out of the storage bin. And I felt like
it made itself into the house, right? It's in the house though.
I don't know. It's been
everything's
weird.
a process.
Yeah. Normally my fall decor is out
even during
September 1st.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I love fall, so I try to use it all because then once Thanksgiving is over, all the fall goes up.
Oh, she's big on Christmas.
And then I go big on Christmas.
Yeah.
Fall, I think the rest of the year I love. Yeah. But this year has been off a little, This year
I think because it doesn't feel like fall.
Yeah. And a lot of things happening too, and it's just kind of off.
Yeah.
So we're getting there though. It's out of the storage unit. It's in the bins in the house, but it's here, so it will get done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put ours up not part of my week, but I finally put my fall stuff up. It's when everybody leaves me alone and I could just put it up. And John was like taking a nap. The girls were upstairs and I'm just in my own element, decorating fall stuff, and literally one day up. So we have Chanel. This is Chanel's first year being with my decorations in my house, and so she's still considered a puppy. And Bentley knows, like, don't get mom stuff, don't nothing. She does not know.
He knows the crock.
So he knows the crock. It's like the chunkla, but the crock. And she's just working my nerves, that girl. And I'm like, no, put it down. Give it to me. Don't get it.
Oh, like toddlers.
Yeah. And Bentley's just looking at her like, oh, girl.
I try to tell
So
her.
if you guys haven't watched our previous episodes, like Chanel and Bentley are their dogs. They have doodles.
Oh, yes. They're not my kids. They're my dogs.
Although the kids too. Mine do anyway.
Because I'm all like, I don't know. You have mentioned that you've got a puppy.
We have doodles. Yeah. Yes, we have doodles.
One's a girl, one's a boy, and the girl is Honoree.
Yeah, she's the diva. But about my week, really quick. So I've been trying to get into gardening. If you follow me on social media, you can see my little plants and frogs and everything. I've been trying to do gardening, but I got a splinter in my toe and I was trying to get it out all weekend. I was just dealing with it. I wore tennis shoes to church on Sunday because I don't want to wear heels or sandals. But I've been soaking my foot. I put warm salt water. I everything I found on TikTok, an orange peel thing. I don't know. I was desperate to get the splinter out of my foot. And I thought I got most of it out. Like I thought I got it all out. But there's like this tiny dot and it's hurting me. Like,
oh, wow.
So today I went into the office and I told my provider, I was like, I will schedule an appointment with you. I will do whatever I have to do, but please get this thing out of my foot. And she's like, no, come on, girl. I got it. She just like 2 minutes just scrapes and pulls it out. And I was like, I've been fighting with this all weekend. And I feel like God just deals with me and really was like, it's the smallest things that make the biggest inconvenience that hurt you the most. And you think it's nothing. And it's causing that little bit of pain that makes a world of difference in your day because I couldn't walk on it. And then when I went to the provider, to the doctor, it took her so simple to pull it out. And God's like, you try to do things your way. You try to soak it. You went to TikTok. You did all these things. And that's how God deals with me because he's like, you say you're praying. You say you're worshiping. You say you're doing this. You're doing all the things. But God, it's still hurting. And God's like, but once you went to the person that you knew could fix it, it was gone.
Wow.
The provider.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. So that's how my week is going. I'm getting dealt with.
That was good.
That was good. Yeah. Wow. What a revelation.
I mean, the splinter wasn't good, but I
know. Look how God speaks to us.
I literally have like antibiotic ointment and everything. Like it was like, yeah.
He's like, your toe's going to get amputated before you come to me, really?
Before with your stubbornness.
Isn't that how it always is? Like,
and I'm over here at the game with my husband. I'm not stubborn.
He could avoid all this.
Okay, so let's get started with today's episode. I'm currently going to read the intro because I don't want any kind of miscommunication or confusion or anything like this. So I'm just going to read it off my phone.
Yeah.
So every time we turn on the news, I mean, who else feels like that? That every time we turn on the news, like something new's happening, Yeah. We scroll on our phones and it feels that there's something new to worry about, whether it's politics, the economy, schools, or what's happening around the world. It's a lot. Us as wives, mom, and women are trying to raise families and live our faith. Sometimes we wonder, how do we stay hopeful when everything feels uncertain? Today, we want to sit down, not as experts.
Yeah, we're not experts.
No, but as women just like you guys.
Yes.
And sharing how current events are hitting our homes, our kids, and our faith. Because even in the chaos, we believe that we're not alone in the fire.
Right.
So that's exactly what this episode is about. How we were sharing about our week, like stuff that's happening actually around the world, in our cities, in our country, how is it affecting all of us? You know, like, and as moms, we want to continue to feel like speak like let our kids know that they're in a good area, that they're protected or whatever, not safe basically, you know, and be able to speak to our husbands and you know, motivate them, still continue to be that cheerleader and stuff that we don't have control of.
Yeah.
You know, like we really don't have control of.
We're literally navigating around.
We're trying to figure.
It's happening outside of our households. Yeah.
You know, and you know how I mentioned like it feels heavy. Sorry, that it just hasn't putting up false stuff. It's been a little bit more on the heavier end, and it's just I didn't understand why, but it's making sense because there's a lot happening out there, you know, and then you know, with the economy prices going up, with all this hate, with violence, with all that kind of stuff, like it's, as much as I feel like okay, it's in another city, oh, it's in another place, like no, it's really,
right here.
Yeah.
it really is happening like down the street or in the city next to us, you know, like, and not only us as mothers seeing this, but our children are actually experiencing it as well, you know.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that today, and I mean, you guys chime in, see how you guys are coping with everything going on. We're going to touch on different topics, and
maybe it'll encourage you to have certain conversations with your kids, because it's not easy to talk about these things with our kids, but at the same time we need to. And sometimes we put it off, things that are not easy, things that don't come just, you know, off the top of our tongue, but we need to have these conversations. So hopefully you feel better after watching this episode and some of the stuff that we talk about with y'all, to have those talks.
Yeah.
Like,
I know a lot of people always say, like, I don't watch the news, it's so depressing, but we do have to watch the news. We do have to stay current with current events because they all eventually affect our families, our kids. How do we expect to raise our kids, send them off into a chaotic world, chaotic society without talking about these things in our home? Like if you're
we
not
don't
into
educate
politics,
them.
that's cool, but you got to stay up to date with what's going on, because politics affects our faith. It affects our school systems. It affects their jobs, the economy. You know, people are just working their butt off. Well, are we explaining why we have to work so hard with our kids, and you know, you can't afford certain things anymore, or you know, have those deeper conversations so they understand. Educate them. We have to educate them.
you know, and I'm guilty of that because I filter stuff on my phone, on social media, because I don't want to. I think I've also noticed that I backed up a little on like crime cases, you know, because I think there's.
You don't want to bring paranoia in.
Yes, like not only that, but I felt like I would go to those just to kind of like, but now I don't know, for my mind, I don't know why I love crime cases, but now I'm trying to shut that off because that's all I see around us.
That's what you notice.
It's what I notice, you know, and I'm one of them that try to like not turn on the news, and my husband's all like, no, we need to know what's going on, we need to prepare our family, you know, and I'm all like, no, prepare for what, you know, like, so, you know, as a wife also it affects us, but we have to like be more afloat to be able to help our kids.
There are things that I'll read about. I know what's going on, but if there's a video on it, I don't want to watch it. If there's something like that, I won't do it. Like that I won't do, but I will be aware of the situation, because to me, I can't stomach that. Like I can't. And nowadays everything is on a video. Like everything's recorded.
Everything's recorded. Yeah, exactly. Like now it's different, because before you will hear about it when on the news, but now you literally can see the crime on TikTok.
Like
on social media.
Yeah, I'm like you, and I tell my kids, like, I don't want you to watch the full extent of this. If you stumble across it, you can handle it, then that's fine, but like explain it to them and see how they feel.
Be aware of it.
How it affects them. Because more recently, when I first thought about this, I was thinking about the Katrina documentary. I don't know why I was thinking about that. I cannot bring myself to watch it.
Really?
I watched it, yeah.
Broke my heart when it happened, and to kind of relive that for like, but in a different sense, because they're actually talking to the people, and like you're seeing everything again.
View.
And I think the reason why it affected us is because people came to Austin. They came to our church, like flooded our church from there, and so it was more personal for us. We didn't have a lot of resources like we do now. So they really needed help. They were living with friends and family members. Some of them were living in churches and with strangers. So
like it wasn't even just hotels.
I'm like, I can't bring myself to watch it. And that happened such a long time ago. But more recently, we've had floods in Texas. And it brought all of that up again. Like, oh my God, this is going to happen again. And explain all those things to our kids. Like, you want to be prepared to help those that it affects. But this was like in Austin, in Georgetown, and who's going to help us, right? That's what we were thinking when it was happening. And I kept telling my kids, like, it's going to be okay.
Because like you said,
we want them prepared, not to panic.
Yeah.
And, even in the school system, they're like, drill me, the drills. We have to do this drill. We have to do this drill. And they're like, the poor kids are probably wondering, why do we have to do these drills? Like the lockdowns or like anything, especially the lockdowns, that stuff that is happening because they're trying to prepare,
They actually have active shooter drills in school. And they tell that to the kids, which I'm grateful for. I don't want them to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
They have to be prepared. Because if they're not and something happens, they're going to panic. They're not going to know what to do.
That's so sad because I remember me going to school. We had the tornado ones.
Yeah.
And that was it. And the fire. That was it. Getting under a table or like somewhere and then going outside for the fire.
The first time I experienced active shooter, and I tell this to people, that when I was in middle school, we had someone who went to the school with the gun and all kinds of things happened, but that freaked me out. I had never understood like that kind of chaos until it happened. Yeah. And so now when it happens over and over, I have to tell my kids, I've been through that. Not as extensive as those. I mean, I feel like it's gotten worse. Like they're going into the schools and, all the,
it's not just waving object around to scare and intimidate.
Even just to bring it up, knowing that so many kids have passed, teachers and faculty, because these are like serious issues. Yeah. It's not just a teenage random, hatred kind of thing that I experience. It's like these kids are going into these schools and
with
killing.
An intention.
Yeah, these kids. So having to explain those to our kids, like if they're doing a drill at school, pay attention. Yeah. Take it serious because God forbid something happens and you're not prepared.
I love that you're even having these conversations, or we're even having these conversations with our kids, because if anything, it's teaching them to express themselves, to have an opinion, to form their own opinion, to have a safe space to ask the questions. Because if we don't create that in our own home, then when they're out in society and the world, they're not going to know how to have their own opinion, and they'll just have other people's opinions impressed upon them. And then, okay, yeah, that's what we believe. Yeah, that's what we think. Like, no, we have these conversations in our home because you form your opinion. Like, you have your rights and wrongs and morals and standards and things like that with these situations. Yeah. Like, it's important to give them that space to do that.
Like what current stuff that has been happening, like the shooting, like shootings in schools, repairing our kids. I know, I don't know where this came from, but I know what my daughter was just like, it's just weird around here right now because we recently had that event of, what's that guy's name?
Charlie Kirk.
Yes. That we had that recent event, and then my daughter is in college, so she was just like, things are weird, Mom. Like, it's just scary and stuff like that, So I had to go back and bring her back to like, hey, it's okay to feel like these emotions are okay, but this is who we rely on. That and I try to bring her back to peace to mind, because that's the only thing we can hold on to is our faith. So that was because the kids see this, they talk about it at school, they announced it at school and stuff like that. And obviously she's an adult, and so she's in college. She was able to see the new social media and stuff like that, and they posted all these ugly videos on social media and stuff like that, so it's better. I was able to kind of be able to talk to my daughter and just say, okay, I get where you're coming from. Like, I understand you. Like, it's okay that you feel that way, but please don't walk in fear, like, all the time. Like, how to encourage your kids to not be fearful, to live and love life.
And express their opinions of their faith,
Yeah, so I had...
That's a whole nother fear of if you say something that people don't agree with,
you're going to get attacked.
Yeah. So it's just a little, like, that's something recent that I was just like, wow, like, right now that we're talking about it, I'm all like, oh my goodness, like, that I just went through that with that conversation with my oldest and just kind of like bringing her back. And then, but then now that I say it out loud, I'm all like, oh my goodness, our faith, like, that's the reason.
Yeah. So Nicholas brought it to my attention, and I had already knew, but I didn't bring it up to them because I didn't think that they knew who this person was. Yeah. And he asked me.
Even a topic of their generation.
He was like, Mom, did you hear that this happened to him? And I was like, you know who that is? And he was like, yeah, I follow him. So he knew more about him than I did.
Yeah.
And then Abigail asked me, and I was like, you know him too? Not me not knowing what they're following on social media. But
that's a different episode.
But when they brought it up to me, we got to sit down and talk because Nicholas asked me, is this why people are around Bishop? Is this why he has somebody next to him? We've talked about the church shootings and how that was more frequent over the years that's happened, and how we have to take precautions in church as well. Like, nothing is safe, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we've talked about it before, but this time, for whatever reason, it hit home for him more than it did the other church shootings. Like I don't know the names of them, but anyway, he asked me, he said, what would we do if we were out in the street, though? Because this guy wasn't in church. And I think that's why it hit home for him more, because what happens to our pastors or leaders, evangelists, whoever's in your church, when they go out? My kids go with me to feed the homeless, and we walk the streets
to church events,
praying
outside the church
with the
walls.
homeless in the alleys. They see what they're doing. I don't sugarcoat it for them or try to stop them from seeing and witnessing these things, because I want them to know this is what people are really going through. This is how we bring hope to them. So we're out doing these things, and now they're questioning, like, okay, well, what if we're all out there and somebody doesn't like what we have to say, and that, something bad happens. So we had to have a conversation about not walking in fear. And we're going to do what we are called to do regardless. Yeah. And because
look at the impact that was made. Look at the education that was still given. Like,
we know where we're going.
The difference he's making.
Yeah. I think that's the part. Like, when Natalie, it happened on a college ground. So Natalie, it was just like, I had to remind her, like, bring her back and just say, look, like, every day you have to wake up and be like, live your life. Don't live in fear. Like, you have God by your side. Your faith. Just going back to that. Remind them. It's like, this is who we rely on. We don't. We walk by faith. Like, and this is what we do. And just kind of reminding her. She's after that conversation, I felt her like, okay, like bringing her back, because again, she's in a different city. She watches online, but she doesn't have that community yet, like that faith community, like she has to, like, here.
Reground her.
Yeah, and just kind of bring it back, because we can get lost in we can get so lost in the news and what everybody else is saying, the opinions of everybody else, or like who's right, who's wrong. No,
there's so much hatred going on. Nobody wants to speak up. People are afraid to even express how they're feeling.
This podcast, like, nobody's talking about it.
Yes.
So as mothers, you know, like we talked how it's affecting us as wives, how to be that cheerleader to our husbands, and you know, like to be able to motivate them, and like imagine them being the head of the house, like
because each of our husbands do ministry as well. And if they're at an event, if they're preaching, if they're doing a wedding, like whatever it is that they're doing, walking their walk with Christ, like that was somebody's husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, like, and it's just because we had, because somebody had a different opinion, you know, and it's okay to not agree in everything. We can agree to disagree and move on. You know, like, there's no right. Like, I just feel like everybody has their own opinion and their own views and everything, and it's okay.
It should be. That starts in the home, though.
Yeah.
If we're not having these conversations with our kids and letting them know, like, we don't all have to agree.
Right.
You know, families argue.
Yeah.
So if you're not teaching them how to navigate those arguments, and it's okay we don't agree, it's okay we don't get along.
Yeah.
I don't like this about you, but we still are a family.
Forward.
We still forgive. We still be kind and cordial, and you know, agree to disagree. But it starts in the home, and you can clearly see that society is portraying the fact that they're not learning this at home.
Right.
They're not learning to respect other people's opinions. They just want to get full of rage and go kill someone or try to shut them up somehow. And I'm not trying to bash anyone's family because I don't know, but
This is how
you
we
see
go.
the problem in the home.
Yeah.
You have to. We can't just say, I didn't know. I
remember having this conversation with Layla a few years ago. So when Trump was running for president, and she was like, I mean, I kind of like the guy, but I don't know how to explain what I like versus what I don't like. Like, she was still understanding herself politics. Like, you know, and I had to teach her and remind her, when you talk to people about politics, it's not you convincing them to believe what you believe.
Right.
You're not trying to get anybody on your side. You're just explaining why.
Right.
This is this for me because of this, and this.
This is what I believe.
Yeah, this is what I believe. And if you don't agree with that, okay. Like, so I had to teach her, and I feel like we should do that more as people raising children. I'm not here to make you be a Christian. I'm not here to convince you to be a Christian. I'm not here to convince you to be red or blue in the political standpoint. Right. I'm here to just express who I am as a person, and then you express who you are, and we just do life. Like, nobody has to convince each other of anything, and nobody has to fight about it. Like,
that's like me trying to convince y'all that Amazon is better than Target.
The betrayal.
Get out of my house. But simple things like that, people get into debates about. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just
it turns into hate and anger.
Yes.
I don't know what happened with humor, what happened with like agreeing to disagree. It's just, you know, and as wives, like, we try to keep everything to, you know, because we're known as trying to keep everything together.
Yeah, like the mother hen.
Everything's under control. But what about us?
Yeah.
Like,
what about the husbands and wives who don't agree with politics? They don't have the same views or the same beliefs or faith. They don't have the same faith beliefs. So those are things that are real that people are dealing with. And how do you do it? How do you navigate through those things? How do you teach your kids? Is there a right and wrong?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of faith too, because even if you have both husband and wife that agree on faith and believe the same thing, I'm not always going to be on fire for God, and maybe he's going through something that he's not totally on fire, and we're in two different parts of our faith. We're in two different seasons of our faith, like navigating that too. Like, that's and showing your children, because let's be honest, we do have families where mom isn't really feeling like going to church, and she's going through depression, or mom battles and dad is just gung-ho on fire. The children see that. And they're seeing how y'all treat each other in this difference of balance of faith.
Of growth,
like, So that's good too.
Yes.
You know, but
so what about like economic wise, when that affects your household finances, how do we support our husbands? How do we support each other, basically, you know, because you're working women. Yeah. So wages aren't what they used to be. Cost of living is going up. Wages are staying the same. And that can cause conflict in the marriage.
Yeah. And the kids are wondering. The kids don't know because I know my kids be like, why don't we have enough snacks like we used to? I'm like, girl. Yeah. I'm all like, because you can be on a diet. No. No, but explaining.
The snacks are what's expensive.
Yeah, explaining and educating them because, all right, that's another issue. Everything's going up. Like the economy that we're living in right now, rising. Like it's shifting, it's changing. You know, we're not making the same. We're not the cost of living, the groceries. Yes. You know, during the summer, how like people struggle because I'm all like, dang, like
and you have to teach your kids how to budget, manage, and eat healthier. Okay, well, you don't have to eat everything in the household. How about meal prepping, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know, and
a snack in between.
Teaching them healthy habits because, you know, when you're lounging during the summer, the kids just want a snack all day.
And watch TV.
And that typically leads to bad eating habits.
You know, one thing that John and I, our kids are grown, but when we go to the groceries together, typically we don't go together. We just go adults only and we buy what we need. But if we're together, which I think is something fun to share with everybody listening, if you have younger kids, we do this thing when you go pay and you put everything on the conveyor belt or whatever it's called. We say, how much do you think it's going to be? How much do you think it's going to be? Because they're throwing numbers out there and then they're watching as you're scanning that number rise. So it gives them a reality of, we just spent $300 on groceries. Like,
and this is all
and this is what we got.
And the kids are like, that's nothing.
Yeah, because they're guessing like, $60. And I'm like, I wish.
You weren't paying attention to that price on the shelf. That's the problem.
And so that's a good way if you have little kids or younger kids to get them to pay attention to what things cost. Like,
so we do a budget before, and we cannot go to the grocery store together. That's like going to cause a divorce in my household. And especially not with the kids.
Yeah.
When Benny's like, oh, you don't want to go with your mom? And I'm like, why would you want them to go with me? I'm in and out. I don't want, I don't want to have to look for the kids. And is somebody watching them, following up? There's too much going on in this world. Yeah. Even in the grocery store, it's not innocent. Like, you can't have fun anymore.
No.
You have to watch your surroundings. Make sure the kids are next to you. And Abigail's too big for me to put her in the cart, so I'm over here freaking out.
But still small enough to get snatched.
Yeah, like, look, just leave the kids at home. And I don't like grocery shopping. I'm an in and out. Go get what I need, get out. This is what I need for the meals, for this, and this. And I also don't like to get the whole week's worth either.
Oh.
I will go twice a week, so I won't have to do the whole thing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just because I hate it. Anyways, I download the H-E-B app, and I show them this is what it is. So is this within our budget? So when they actually do go with me, I'm doing the calculations on the phone.
To see how much it's going to be.
Yeah, so that way they know, okay, what's priority and what's not. What do we need and what don't we need? What can we put back? Because then I'm like, okay, well, do you have money for that?
Yeah.
Because that's extra.
And if you want that, then that means
that's not an ingredient for this meal. So where are you going to come up with that money? And it also teaches them, like, okay, do we really need this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Popcorn versus Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
What's going to go further in the week than just go? Yeah. So
that's a good way. That's a good way to budget. Like, now that we have access to
and
apps
she's the queen of budgets. We are not.
I love the H-E-B app. I love to know how much I'm going to spend, what exactly I'm going to get. And
what aisle it's in.
Yeah, you can make a list and when I curbside, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
I love it. Benny didn't used to like curbside, guys, and I have sold him on it. Yeah, because I'm like, dude, I just go park. They come and bring it. Like, it's so quick and easy. Yeah. So yesterday, as a matter of fact, he didn't listen to me when I was trying to talk to him about what we were going to cook for Sunday. Never answered me. So after church, he's like, okay, you're going to get off at H-E-B? And I was like, yeah. And then he said, did you curbside? That's not how it works. You got to pay for curbside before you actually pick it up.
Yeah. You're like, no, I didn't.
That's why I was telling you on Saturday.
See, I'm feeling like this Sunday dinner is like
It's not working out.
If the math ain't mathing, I don't know.
I'm being selfish here. Like, it's been a little awkward at least after without her. So
It feels like I haven't seen them.
It really is so weird. If one's missing, then we're just sitting there like, so what do we talk about?
yeah.
And then we're all together. We didn't run out of stuff to talk about.
And then it feels like we're up to date, and then we're like, oh wait, Vanja doesn't know, or, or Casey doesn't know.
Hello. Yes.
Like, we talked about this yesterday. Oh, wait.
Feels so
no.
lonely. Sorry, kids.
Anyways, that
You
was
see the
selfish.
sacrifice that she's making?
No, so yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say I'm the budget queen, but I have fallen off a little but in my head, instead of going back and budgeting, like, okay, we're not going to do the snacks, we're not going to do this, like, I'm just going with it, you know, like, okay, 2 snacks, instead of switching my mindset, if that box of chips costs $19.99, we do not need it. Let's just get a bag of chips because that will be enough, you know, like, because the kids will overeat.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, they will, you know, see everything in the fridge or in the pantries and they want to eat it, you know, like, so I need to change my mindset.
Just boredom.
Yeah, and then we wonder why they have bad eating habits as adults. I'm thinking, well, because I was bored and my mom let me do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I blame her. No, I'm kidding.
Snacking. Just snacking.
But it really does teach us bad eating
Yeah,
habits.
but not only is it that we're going through it as an economy, but also it will help us educate our kids for the adulthood, because I know my adult child, she's in college and she's trying to figure this out. She'll tell me, oh, I don't have money for that, you know, and
they didn't know how much it cost until it was coming out of their pocket.
Yeah, they had to pay for it.
so I always, like, she's trying to get hair dye, and then she found something cheap on Amazon, and it's taking a whole month to get here. So I was like, her hair is like fading out, and I said, why don't you go to Sally's and get you a hair dye there? She's like, Mom,
it's more expensive.
It's $25 for a small thing. I got triple the amount for X amount, and I'm all like, so she's noticing.
You're
it.
like,
She's
so when you get that order, place your next one already.
So the moral of that story is she needs to pay for Prime and get it in 2 days. No, I'm just kidding.
Everything costs.
Hello, budget for that.
Yeah, no. So she's very much like realizing it now. You know, like she, after service, we called her yesterday, or no, Saturday. We were on our way to my sister's house, and we called her. Like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm getting off of work and whatever. Now I'm on the way to the cafeteria. They have 45 minutes before they close, so I'm gonna try to go get dinner. Because in her tuition,
she's like, if not, I gotta pay for it.
And you want to make that dinner because you ain't got no money.
The meals are included with her tuition. So she went in there and she was so mad. She's like, oh my God, why is the doors locked? Like,
they closed early.
They closed early for whatever reason. And my husband's all like, complain and whatever. Not. She's like, well, what am I going to do now? I guess I'm going to have to eat ramen noodles. And then my husband gave in. He's all like, babe, send her $20. And I'm all like, $20? No.
You're like, she could go to $5.99.
Wendy's special.
Yes.
So, you know, she was able, but she was like, made it priority to try to, it wasn't her fault.
Yeah,
so,
she tried. Yeah.
But in her head, she's just like, I can't afford that. And I'm going to eat ramen noodles or go to the cafeteria.
That's how Layla is with gas. So she has her own car. She drives herself to school. We made a deal with her that gas comes out of her paycheck. So at first, when she first got her car, homegirl was all over the place. You want to go? I'll take you. Like,
I'll pick y'all all
I'll
up.
pick you all up. I'll drive over there, come back home, get ready, go back over there to hang out. Like, it was all over the place. Mm-hmm. But now that she's really like paying for her own gas, we were talking the other day, and I was like, are you going to go? Like, there's a coffee shop, whatever. Her friends wanted to go. And she goes, it's in Austin. So it's going to be 30 minutes plus traffic. You know how much gas that's going to be? And I was like, Well, I'm surprised you do.
Good for her.
Yeah, so
She's
she
like,
knows
"Good."
it's going to cost her gas just to go have coffee versus her just staying
Making her
home,
coffee at home.
hanging out.
Speaking
Yes.
of, Nicholas mentioned her because he's already thinking about what high school he's going to go to, and he wants to go to her
To her
school.
high school?
He said that his friends are going. He was like, Layla already offered to pick me up. And I was like, brother, now this is going to make sense. That was before she was paying her own gas.
She'll put it in her budget, and she won't go get coffee.
have to
She'll
remind
go
her.
get you. She might ask you to make her a coffee and bring it with you.
And then I asked him, did she offer that before they moved to Georgetown?
Yeah.
Because she
Probably.
lived in Pflugerville.
But I think y'all's exit is just one more from her school. So that's what she's probably thinking.
She
like,
told
I'll just
him,
go
you're,
one
You're
more.
not too far. And I'm like,
Yeah.
we are not going to do that to her.
Because she does go that way again, coffee. She loves coffee.
Isn't there? She goes to Dutch, right? But
She's on 7-6 brew or something like that.
God.
I don't know.
I think I've heard.
But
even
she
Britt
tries
talk
different
about that.
ones because she
Dutch
likes
Bro?
No.
coffee.
Oh,
Whatever she mentioned.
Yeah, she tries different. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the name of it, but I know that she's on a different one right now, and that's her thing. She will get up extra early, get ready early, put gas the night before because she wants to stop and try this new coffee that's out. So again, that's all in her budget.
right. And
Yeah.
learning. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, and they won't notice until they start coming. They go to that job that they really don't want to do because they're trying to go hang out with their friends.
But she gets slick with it sometimes. I'm going to tell on you, girl. On Sundays before church, we'll go get coffee sometimes, and she'll order it on her app. We'll pay for it because it's our coffee, but she gets points. So all those points get her free coffee.
Okay.
So she does do that.
Natalie does the same thing. She'll be like McDonald's and gets points and rewards, and she's like, "Oh, I got a free hot and spicy."
Yeah,
and, I'm all
and
like,
she'll save it for the week, not when we're with her.
No wonder I hear people talking about that.
Yeah.
you have to
the
be part of the
points.
rewards, all of the rewards.
Yeah, she has all kinds of
None of
rewards.
those apps.
You know, but it also brings that kind of concern of like if that's how we are right now, we're hoping and we pray that our economy gets better in the future so they don't have to, go through what we're going through, like as in like the provide and to pay mortgages or pay rent because everything is going up, like everything, like insurance.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, what the heck? Like
And they're like, we didn't know we had to have all this.
Yeah.
But I feel like we also have to teach them live within your means. Mm-hmm. You can't live a lifestyle that your budget can't pay for.
Right.
And sometimes you got to take away things. You don't need that extra pair of shoes, and because they're at that age where they care a lot about what they're wearing, their hair, and if
The
you can't
kind of
afford
makeup
it,
they're
you can't
putting on their
afford it.
face. Yeah.
You gotta humble yourself.
I think
Girl, you better make that NYX makeup work.
I mean, I would be real humbled with this hair if Brittany didn't do it. There's no way my husband would pay that much money.
Right. It's
No way.
expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I think off a little bit off topic, a little bit. Like I went to Britt to go get a touch up probably a month ago or whatever, and I'm over here like telling my husband again. I go to her and she's like, "Oh, we're just gonna do a toner," and I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." I'm thinking in my head, girl math here. Okay, in my head, I already know how much it's gonna cost, so I tell my husband, "Hey, I'm gonna go to go get my hair done," and he's all like, "Didn't you just do it like 2 months ago?" I'm all like, "You have to go every 8 weeks. Like, don't you know that you have
Some
to go?"
people have to go 4 weeks.
Yeah, like you have to do it. So in my head, he's all like, "Claudia, okay, whatever." So. But in my head, I'm thinking, again, I didn't do toner for, I think that was my first time doing toner because I always go to her and I'm all like, change my hair.
Do something different.
Yeah. But this time I kept it the same and she did a toner. And girl math, I was just like, okay, so this is the budget. And then it ended up being like, not what you thought.
Like half?
Like half or even less than half. And I'm all like, that's it? And she was like, yeah, I mean, it's just a toner. I'm all like, even on time, you know, because I saw her on social media, Hair by Brit, if you guys
follow her.
Here's the plug. Hair by Brit. So she was offering appointments online. I'm like, hey, guys, what about me? Like, you gave me an hour. And
don't forget that I have your appointment.
hours. And she's like, it's a toner only, whatever not. But anyways, I ended up keeping that money because it wasn't... my husband already deducted it from the household, you know, like, so I thought, I'm like, all right, so I got extra cash. But anyways.
She just told on herself.
But she was budgeting in one area to be able to have in the other.
And like with the budgeted mindset. So my husband already had deducted it from the home account. So it doesn't really matter, right?
So speaking of that, you said something interesting, and it's something that we wanted to talk about too, how it's the shift in our marriage. Mm-hmm. So how do we deal with our marriage? Mm-hmm. And it's not just communication and being on the same page with budgets and different accounts, but one thing that I've realized, so I've shared before that I'm not the best at knowing what things cost. I'm not going to lie. I will throw myself under this tight bus and tell you that I go grocery shopping, but I could not tell you how much milk costs. I just know that we need milk. So grab the milk. I don't pay attention to the finance part of things. My husband...
And that's such a blessing that you
It is. To. God blessed me with the ability for my husband to say, here's the list. Here's the money, and go get these items. And I'm like, got it. But on the flip side, my husband, like we were talking, there are weekends where he has to work. There are nights where he's on call. There's extra calls that he has to go do, the side hustle. Like, all these things play a part. And as a wife, how it affects our marriage, I could... be one of those wives, like, you're working so much, you're out so late, it's the weekend, and you have more calls, like, this is our time. Us as wives have to support, like, I get it. The economy's going up. You're doing what you need to as the head of the house to meet financial needs. Like, it's not easy when your husband's always working. Like, we have friends that their husbands, I mean, your husband's always working too. Like, these men are doing what they need to provide for their families, and us as women need to remember not to get in our feelings about it, but to support that. Like, that's our way of financially shifting in this economic state.
Not only that, like, not getting offended whenever, like, okay, this is speaking for myself, you know, like,
you want to come under this tight bus?
She's like, I'll scoot over for you.
I'm like, can you please make room? You know, I had to learn that because being the person handling the finances, it got exhausting. Yeah. You know, like, because now, I mean, we're thankful we have a business. So now it's not only the house, it's the business, you know, part of it too. And then, you know, handling other businesses that are not my job, you know. Yeah. But I had to be able to, I told my husband, I ain't communication, first of all. I was just like, babe, I really need you to help me out. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm spreading myself very thin right now. Can you please help me out? So he's like, all right, I'll help you with the home stuff. So taking him saying, hey, you need to cut back on this. And I'm all like, excuse me? Like, you know, like, but again,
are you putting limits on me? Boundaries?
I asked you to help, but not to give me your opinion.
So being able to work together. And then my husband would remind me saying, like, I'm not against you. We need to work together. Like, your strengths are my weaknesses. My strengths are your weaknesses. Right. So we need to work together for our family, for our household. Yes. And I was just like, okay, you're right. Yes. You know what? I'll pack leftovers instead of eating out.
He's not doing this to you personally.
Yes, right. But I'm all like, what? I work hard for this money and you're telling me I can't eat out? Yeah. Like, you know, he's all like, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you, like, try to limit yourself or pack leftovers because we're trying to pay college. We're trying to, like, buy groceries. We're trying, like, the girls are needing new shoes or whatever the case may be, you know, like, And I had to learn, I'm still in the process of learning this, but I had to like learn that he's not saying it to just get at me. You know, he's telling me because he's thinking about our household, you know, and you are right. They work so much. And there's sometimes that they don't come home and they just sleep and they leave the next morning, exhausted. You know, and it's just kind of like, all right, go back at it.
And us, we can get in our feelings of like, oh, he just gets home and throws his clothes. It doesn't even go in the hamper, and he just falls asleep, and he didn't help me, and he didn't this, and he didn't that. Girl, the man is tired. Like,
which is not also like not obviously not to neglect.
Here's the kids.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Not also to neglect your marriage, you know, but there's a balance.
It's a balance.
Yeah. You know, there's a balance, and there's seasons that sometimes, you know, like my husband has a slow season like at work, and then he has a busy one, so I understand it. Right. You know, like I'm all like he's not doing it because he's trying to get away from me. He's doing it because he's trying to provide for our household. He's trying to make everything get paid, you know. So
and the men see the overall picture, not just right now.
Yeah.
We see right now what we need, and they're looking at the overall picture. Do we really need it?
Yeah. Right.
And we have to remember that. So for us, we're a one household income, and the way I help him out is, first of all, don't complain when he comes home late, because he's the only one working to pay the bills and provide for the kids, and, you know, do whatever he needs to do. But I don't also just leave whenever I want to, go do whatever I want to during the day. I'm like, okay, if he's the only one working and putting in the gas, I respect his work. Yes, that's what I was going to respect him as the provider, respect him as the head of household, respect his opinions, making sure that, yes, he does put my gas. And I won't literally puts my gas. But I don't just drive around and not care where I go and where I'm spending my gas because, oh, well, Benny works. No, I'm like, no, I don't really need to go there.
Right.
Because I don't want to put that pressure on my husband. So a lot of times we can get in our feelings. Well, the kids need this. We need this. The house needs this. And making sure I'm like, okay, do we really need it?
Yeah.
Is it something that I can hold off on asking him at 10 o'clock at night when he gets home?
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes the kids will be like, Dad, the dog needs food. Dad, we ran out of sponges. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with y'all?
This may not be the best time to have certain conversations. They're exhausted.
Abigail's been doing the dishes more so than Nicholas because now she's homeschooled and she can do it.
Yeah.
Well, she very infamous on telling us when things are already gone, right? Instead of like, it's almost gone. We're running low. She doesn't give us any warning, so she's trying to do better with that. Yeah. Well, she kept reminding us that we needed sponges. And finally there was no more sponges, and she's like, Mom, I keep asking, I don't want to make Dad mad. So she's learning like respect, right? Yeah. He's working hard. And I said, Abigail, get a sock.
Figure it out, girl.
He's tired.
Get an old towel, rip it out.
Make it work.
I told her, find a rag, Abigail.
Yes.
We are not gonna bother him with sponges that I can just go to Dollar Tree for.
Right.
Yeah. It was so funny. She was like, I don't want to tell him.
I don't want to tell him something that I've been telling him.
Yes.
I'm more like, you can just I tried the whole list on the fridge kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah. We did too. It didn't work for us.
No.
Yeah. So,
but respecting each other.
Yeah.
And in this fast-paced world, having to work. Some families are working multiple jobs, and it's still hard, and it can be frustrating.
I used to work 2 jobs, and it was just like,
you don't want to take it out on each other.
Repeat kind of thing. You know,
like people feel like they can't enjoy life.
Right.
Yeah. I can't enjoy all my hard working money. I can't enjoy it. It goes to bills. Enjoy what you have.
Yes.
Right.
Enjoy what it's paying for.
And family time, go to the park. Like there's so many parks. There are basketball courts
that are
volleyball.
Volleyball. What is that? Pickleball. I see so many. I go to my friends.
I was just gonna say, find a friend with a pool.
If you don't have one,
take advantage of those HOA fees.
Find a friend with a gym. You don't have to pay.
Yes.
You know, like, and there's stuff that like, I know when I got home earlier, Edelyn was like, Mom, park? Let's go to the park. And like, I was just like, that's the little things that make her happy. Like, she doesn't want me to take her to freaking they jump those trampoline place. She wants to go to the park.
Yeah, put
it
her on the
doesn't
swing.
cost anything. Yeah, put her on the swing. She runs around, and you know, like there's stuff we can do within our means.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you
And
don't have to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
The kids, trust me, they're gonna remember that time that you took them to the park. You know, like that you guys spent together. You know, and there's sometimes as parents we get frustrated. Oh, we can't do this. We can't do that. We're not going on vacation. Everybody's going on vacation. Feel like we have to. No, you guys don't.
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
You know, like don't put your family in a situation like that you're gonna be in debt or something like that. You can't because everybody's doing it. That's when you see it on social media. Like it can get a little like, oh, why aren't we doing that? We're not there. You don't know, like.
The hard work it took to get there.
Yes, but not only that, don't try to compete
with people or keep
anybody.
up with others.
You know, like it's just it's gonna hurt your family instead of helping them because
what works for you may not work for them.
And there's so many things you can do within your budget, even if you don't have a budget, that's free and still meaningful.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've had so many humbling moments where we're like, okay, you got to pick and choose what you want to do.
Yeah.
If you want to do
movie
this,
nights
you can't
don't
do
cost
this.
a thing.
Don't cost a thing. Just sit around and lounge and watch
Game
TV together.
nights, like let's
Yes.
play some cards.
Game night.
I love game night.
Game nights are new to me, but they were the most funnest, and we enjoy them. You know, like it's really. I love game nights.
Yes. So that's how you can beat the economy at its own game.
Yes. Ooh, that's a good one.
One thing I want to jump into, because it kind of goes along with like us carrying our weight and balancing the roles, is that exactly the roles. Like in society, again, because this episode is about talking about things that are going on around us, gender roles, gender in specific. Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? What does it look like as far as our beliefs, and what does it look like in your home? Like, does the gender role make an influence or an impact? How does that look like?
On our household, everybody pitches it.
It's all fair game.
Fair game.
Yeah.
Like, even like, and this is coming from a household full of women, and my husband is the only male. Even our dogs are females. So, like, my husband is the only alpha male here. Like, and he just has no
loves
problem
it.
with that. He likes to keep it that way.
You don't have to compete with nobody.
But yes, but my husband, like, it's not. That's what I love about him. That he helps me out so much as far as like dinner or getting the girls ready for bed or picking them up. You know, because. You know, I'm working late or I work further out, you know.
He'll bathe the baby.
Yeah,
like,
so I don't think in our household there's I don't have little boys or anything like that, but my girls, like, everybody does everything.
There's
you know, like,
that's your job.
Yeah.
You're the guy. Yeah.
None of that. I like to raise my daughters as being independent women, but I also want to teach them having that.
Like respectful.
Like, I want them to be able to be submissive to their husband, but until they get there, I want to raise them to be independent. Like, you guys.
And that's a whole topic too.
You can do it too. Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't have to rush into a relationship because you can survive. On your own.
So
learn how to change a tire, check the oil, maintenance your cars. That's a big thing.
The tire situation too.
Teaching your girls to pay attention to their vehicles and don't just drive it without any oil
or put gas in them themselves.
Yeah.
And so you have a husband that's
it's a choice. We know how to do it.
Yeah, I just choose not
it's a choice.
He spoils me like that, though. That's his fault.
So in my household, I believe that the gender roles, like, we're a family here and we work together. So that's in our family. But again, because that works for us.
Yeah.
You know, it won't, like, maybe like a stay-at-home person like that. Yeah. You know, it's different in every household. Yeah. So because it looks like that for me and my husband helps me out cooking, And getting the girls, it doesn't mean it works for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's life situation is
And that's why I brought it up.
To cook and clean and serve their husbands, and the husband
which is
perfectly
fine.
That's not, I don't want you to do that. That's not your job. And that's okay. If that works for y'all, that's great.
Yeah.
Benny did his laundry for a long time. Still does his laundry. But that was because we were having issues in our marriage. And we were very like, you do your own thing.
Independent
that
spirit.
Means your laundry too. and it just kept going that way. And he just kept doing his own laundry. So I'll go in there and do it for him without him asking or whatever. But our household's the same way.
Yeah.
Everyone pitches in. There is no, that's a boy's job. That's a girl's job. No, you're going to scrub the toilet and she can go outside and learn how to mow the grass.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You just said Nicholas washes dishes just like Abby does. So.
And right now, Abby's doing more because she's at home. And Nicholas is, in school doing the sports and stuff. So it's just more time management,
and it's
not gender.
And it's a season because this is just seasonal because Abby will...
Yeah,
she
when she goes to school, they'll be both at the same schedules and they'll both not have enough time and
and that's good to teach them too together. Like because unfortunately now it seems like more and more younger generations feel like fair that's not fair not fair. You know what, sometimes it's not fair. But
life is not fair.
Life is not fair. The sooner you learn that, the better off you'll be.
But it did take me some time to tell a couple of days to teach Abby, like, you're already here. You can finish your work quicker. You have more time on your hands. Whereas Nicholas is getting home at 5:30. You're already done by 3. So instead of being on your phone, help your brother out. So she understands that now. So when it's the weekend, she's like, he's not doing nothing. He's doing the dishes. Well, so it's more of a time thing and helping each other out than a gender thing for us.
In our home, we joke around about how I was raised by my dad and catered to, because I was actually, hearing you talk about your husband, I was like, I was raised by a man like Deacon Eddie, like all women, just, we were all girls. We had a girl dog, her name was Weta, like every girls. And so my dad loved it like him. He threw the trash, he cut the grass, he did all the things to cater to the girls. So now that I'm grown and married, I tell my husband, I don't cut the grass. I'll garden, I'll plant flowers, I'll water stuff, I'll turn the sprinklers on.
I make things pretty.
But I will not cut the grass. I know how to weed eat. I've weed eated at the ranch and at the house, but I don't do it. I don't throw the trash because growing up, my dad always threw the trash. So in my brain, girls don't throw the trash. And so I wanted to share that because you're right. Every home is different and it's just what works for y'all. So in our house, I will literally like pile up the trash because I don't do the trash. Layla will throw the trash. Lisette, she'll go, but she's like 90 pounds soaking wet, so she won't go outside if it's dark. But Layla will throw the trash, John will throw the trash, Benny will throw the trash, but I never throw the trash. I'm not gonna lie, never. I'm just like, not my thing. That's a boy thing.
I hate to throw the trash.
I hate it.
Speaking of that, I will pile it up and then get mad at Nicholas for not doing it.
I will do everything else. I'll clean toilet. I'll do everything. But I can't bring myself to throw the trash.
When I know he's really busy, and Benny doesn't do it because I tell him, don't do that, that's Nicholas's job. So he doesn't do it. But I will do it for him when he's too busy. Yeah. And then I'm like, I hate that.
No, I even put it outside the door. I won't take it to the job.
I don't take it outside. I just take it out of the can. Yes.
So there are some things in my house that are gender. Yes, the trash is one of them.
So again, in the house is totally different. Like I know my kids have helped my husband like cut the lawn or like do stuff outside or but very, very minimal. Like they really don't. but the house stuff, yes, everybody.
Yeah.
Outside, my husband really does much, but
and my kids, they get to see like that we both cook, so we help each other out in that. We both do the laundry. Like everything is
Equal.
together. Yeah, very equal. Whoever has time, basically.
yeah. I know today I actually had Gabby do sopa fideo by herself, you know, so because I think about it, like she's a sophomore right now. She has 2 more years before she's off to college.
Yeah.
So I have to prepare her in 2 years to be able to survive.
Yes.
You gotta have one go-to meal, girl, so you don't starve.
So I was teaching, and she gets home. She was home. She didn't have school today, but even if like prepping something for me, hey, cut all this onions, or like help me in the kitchen, you know, like
throw out the chicken, that kind of stuff.
Stuff like that, because I mean, she's getting there. That she's gonna leave in 2 years, you know, like
And we're not picking on you. We're not making you do chores.
It comes down to preparation.
We
want to prepare you.
Preparing them for the future. Like we already covered about preparing them for the future as living and
the
budgeting
economy,
and
the
stuff
budgets.
like that.
And crises that happen in society and in
How they
this
believe,
world.
how they express what they believe.
It's all about preparation.
Yes. So I mean, not only within that, I mean, there's so much more we can do and teach them, and we can talk about. You know, there's a lot of stuff happening out there. This is just
the surface of it all.
very little. Have you seen that?
My splinter, it was the tiniest.
I don't even know what this means.
No, there's like an emoji that shows something like this, like very
not
like,
the clock it. It's
no,
just
it's
like saying
just
tiny,
some
like little.
tiny thing, like showing like that.
There are 2 different ones.
Yeah,
Well, if
one's
we
like this,
we'll
one's
see if they can add it right here.
If our two fly editors, make sure you follow Two Fly. But if he has the access to,
you'll see it what I'm talking about. But this is just the surface of so much that's going on.
Yeah.
We just wanted to come on here and jump on and just kind of have a conversation, you know, like as friends, because you guys are our friends as well, you know. Just how we feel and how we've managed to talk to our kids, or how we have those conversations, serious conversations, but not to put fear, but to bring that peace in them and remind them, you know, of our faith, you know, because we don't want them to be scared of like talking about their faith.
Develop anxiety and depression for what's going on outside of their control.
And that's like a whole nother episode. Like the whole the name tags that they put on each other, not them but society. Or like they try to like, oh, you're feeling
their
that
very
way,
own scarlet letter.
Yes. So like that's a whole nother episode. I know we kind of like went into this episode, into these topics right now, but we just wanted to bring awareness about what's going on, you know,
and how to keep your faith through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys want to
Raise a
touch on
family through it.
I mean, anything else that I missed probably, or?
I think that something for us is we always remind our kids that the Bible says, do not worry and cast all your cares onto the Lord. So when we come across things that are affecting everyone in our household, we have to remind each other, God is still in control. He's the God of peace and justice. We have to keep our own peace in our household, have faith that He's going to take care of those who follow Him and love Him, because that's what the Word of God says.
Right.
And that He turns everything bad around for good for those who love Him. So, and are called to His purpose. So speaking those things into them, that's what we stand on, that's what we believe, no matter what is going on outside of our household. And to carry that when you leave the household, you go into school, you carry that peace with you. That helps us get through managing and preparing for what we can't control.
Yeah. And not only that, I know whenever something that I've noticed, and my husband and I, not that I just noticed, but something that my husband and I do in our house. So we teach our kids prayer.
Yes.
You know, like, so whenever they feel like uneasy about a situation or something that they're going through, we're like, okay, well, let's pray about it.
Yes.
You know, like, so we do that a lot. You know, we always remind them fear is not of God, you know, like, but my kids always, even our 4-year-old, she's about to be 5, but our Edelyn will be like, oh, I feel my stomach hurts. Mom, let me pray. Oh. So she knows that, and recently she, her teacher from the children's ministry taught her that Jesus is in her heart. So she always says, Jesus is always with me. He's in my heart. And she's been repeating that. She's been saying that on repeat. Last night at dinner, she told her teacher that. Jesus in my heart. Jesus in my heart. So, the home is their safe place. And you guys, yes, the world is crazy outside. There's a lot going on that we don't have control of. So why even put stress about it? Yes. Your home, under your roof, that's where the peace is. That's where you can talk to your kids and remind them the safe place, and to always, this is coming from, because we're believers, and we believe in Jesus Christ, and, we serve the Lord, whatever your beliefs are, but this is for me and my household, we serve the Lord.
Yes.
So this is the way that our point of views, and if you guys don't agree, it's okay.
That's the whole point of this. Let's agree to disagree.
We talked about in the beginning of the episode, it's okay to
not agree with each other.
Agree to disagree. Yes. But this is our point of view, and I'm talking for myself.
But we have the same point of view. Yeah. Teach your kids to pray.
Yeah. So again, I hope this episode wasn't too heavy. Yes. Chime in. If you guys, chime in, message us.
If you picked up any golden nuggets from it, share.
If you guys just want to vent, and private message us. You guys have been messaging and commenting and sending us stuff, like the game we did, was it last week?
The questions,
The questions, the questions from last week, that's all you guys sending it in and just chiming in, and we thank you guys for that. And we're praying for everybody. We pray for the world, and we continue to do it. And I believe in change, and I believe the more that we unite, the more in prayer,
the more impact.
Yeah. The more impact we'll have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else, ladies, before we close out this episode?
No. Just remember, open dialogue.
Yes.
That's what one of our pastors always say. Open dialogue.
And if this episode, go ahead and if you know somebody that is struggling with stuff that is happening, or that just needs peace of mind, and just, you're not alone. We're here, we're chatting, we're friends, and you can always reach out to us.
Yes.
And just don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with a friend. You never know who needs it.
You always have those friends that you talk about deep conversations with, and then you have, like we were saying, you have friends that surface level friends.
Yeah.
So that friend that you deep conversation with, share it with them, and let's talk about stuff.
Yes. And this is, again, back to, this is just the surface of it. There's much more topics we can bring it on, and I wish we had more time, but we'll leave that for the future episodes and stuff like that. We'll continue to chime in and have, conversations like this, because there are fun times, but there's also deep moments that need to be spoken, and we're thankful that you guys are listening to be able to have these conversations with, and any episodes you guys any suggestions of any future episodes with the husbands. We are planning a Q&A and marriage, right? Yes. We talked about that. So send in your questions about marriage, and different marriges,
that you want us to answer.
We're going to have them on again. Yes. So look forward to that, so they can join us on the couch.
And if you saw the last one, you're going to be, you're going to want to watch
in for a treat
for their expressions. To your answers.
And ask your husbands what they want to ask them in.
Yes, that's a good one.
Because we do have men on here that are watching as well. So, hey, you men, if you guys are watching,
ask the questions.
Ask the questions, and we're going to put them aside, and we're going to bring the husbands back on, because everybody loved that episode. We had so much feedback. It was, if you guys haven't watched it, go back a couple. Was it last episode? Last 2 episodes, or you guys will be able to see it. And go watch that. That was a fun episode, having them on, and But anyways, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Today, morning, night, whenever you guys are watching this, and don't remember.
For listening.
Yes, for listening, watching us. Don't forget that you're not alone.
You're not consumed.
Another is in the fire.
Bye, guys.
Bye.